Good morning, guys. It's Monday. I am getting stuff ready for the week today. One of the big things I'm going to do first off is clean up my office. As you can see, there is this stuff everywhere in here. That happens after a big event. I kind of just collect things in here when I'm cleaning up and then eventually have to sit down and reorganize and fix everything in my closet. I'm going to do that today. Other than that, it's not a whole lot of big activity for you guys to watch today. One of the big things I'm doing is getting my series ready. I've got to do the series on Wednesday night, my series on Sunday night, figure out exactly what I'm talking about. So I'll spend a lot of time brainstorming that, reading for that, praying about that. So I'll spend some time praying today, spend a lot of time writing today, and maybe I'll pause every now and then and kind of tell you what I'm thinking. But first things first, let's clean up. Yay! Alright, that's the hard part. It's done. Yay. Alright, it's about 9:40. I have cleaned up all my office, got all that stuff done, had some prayer time, just did a little reading time, and just trying to study as I'm trying to get some ideas about what direction I want to go for our studies coming up. We do a Wednesday night and a Sunday night, and the Sunday night our games worked really well. Last night we did a little something different. We moved to a different space, let us be in a circle, kind of changed up things a little bit, and I think it worked pretty well. And so I think we're going to continue something like that, a little bit more informal on Sunday nights with a few more activities. On our Wednesday night, we're going to look towards something a little bit more structured. And what I'm doing right now is doing a free write of that, just kind of letting my brain flow through my fingers. I tend to think best that way. So I'm kind of clicking through some stuff, trying to figure out, and I'm really leaning towards picking a book, study like a book of the Bible, but I'm not 100% sure that's where we're going to go. So I'm still kind of praying, figuring that out, probably spend most of the day trying to get a structure of what that looks like. I know in February I want to do a story about love, so I know I want to go there, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing in January. So keep working. Thanks. It's a pretty common thing I do when I'm trying to find a new lesson. I go and just kind of look at my bookshelf. I have bought lots of lessons that I didn't do because I saw it like on Group or something like that, ordered it, and then I just never did do it for whatever reason. And so I tend to look up here from time to time and see, is there something that I'm supposed to do, something I'm supposed to know? Not really seeing anything necessarily, because I really have it in my head that I want to write my own. And so that's what I'm kind of leaning towards, but I do tend to come over here and look, so thought I'd throw that in there. This is all my crazy shelf. Look, it's my Minecraft figures for when we did a Minecraft thing. Look, hello, it's Minecraft person. Ah. Alright, so I am pretty sure that we are doing 1 Peter. That's what our youth lesson is going to be about. Kind of worked on that, the idea of so look through 1 Peter. This week we're talking specifically about justification and sanctification and the security of the believer and kind of what that looks like. But I'm trying to figure out how to explain that. One of the best ways I've ever seen to explain that was actually in Phil Vischer, the guy who did VeggieTales. It was in his series, What's in the Bible. Went online, tried to find it online. It's kind of hard to find. I've got the DVD somewhere here in our church library. So we're going to go see if we can find it. Track it down. The Lost Medallion. VeggieTales. 3-2-1 Penguins. Everything I don't need. Oh, come on. Don't tell me this isn't here. Do I have it in my office somewhere because I use this a lot? What I need isn't in here. Doesn't mean it's not around. Probably actually, I'm probably the one who took it because I'm the one who loves this the most. And now I gotta go track it down. Yeah. This might actually be on a TV cart around here somewhere. I don't know if it is or not. I'm gonna go look for it. This is a good time as I'm wandering around these TV carts everywhere trying to find it. To talk about one of the things that I tend to do is exactly what I'm doing here. There's not a TV cart in here. There is a DVD though. Let me go look. But one of the things that I tend to do is write lessons. And when I'm writing lessons, I don't actually do the things that I should do, which is write the whole lesson and then go find the object lessons. Now, what I do is, hits me, I've got an idea, I've got an object lesson I want to do, so I have to stop and figure that all out before I can go on to the next point. Don't really know why I do that, probably not the most efficient, but that's how I work. We've got Gideon's, we got something else, we got nothing we need. All right, the search continues. Do you know what's in the Bible? Is it the truth? Is it reliable? Where exactly is the Bible DVD? I don't know.
Back here, collect your Starvaders, no kid stuff. Let's keep looking. Guess I gotta go in every room and see who has it. No DVDs in that room now. Let's all take a look at the Bible. Is he saying Bible? I don't know. Let's see.
There's a DVD up there. It's green. Maybe it's it. No, it's not. Okay, I think that's like the 9th thing of Gideon I've seen. Seriously, people, we are working some VeggieTales in this place. It's 1:53. We're getting close to the end of the day. I've got some things I have to do to get ready for Board Game Club, so I'm about done with our time to work on a lesson today. And honestly, it's just not working for me. I like what we're teaching. I like this idea of sanctification, justification, especially like where we're going next week in this First Peter study. I like the idea of looking at a group from First Peter and picking a book and kind of digging into that a little bit. But now I'm stuck because I can't think of anything for the students to do. There's no activity here that I can think of except for this clip that I found from the What's in the Bible series. I found it over on Worship Lost Kids, and they're going to watch that. But it just seems like everything that we're doing in this lesson is very stage focused, and they're not able to really touch a whole lot. So I just keep writing and keep looking and keep trying to think of something for them to do, and I just keep coming back to nothing, to a blank. And so that's kind of where I am. I think I'm about to have to just let it go for the day because I keep kind of coming up against this wall, which that's what we do sometimes. Sometimes I find great ideas, and sometimes I think of ideas first, and sometimes ideas don't come, and sometimes I'll force it, and sometimes I just let it go. And so I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but that's where I am. I guess back to work. Still talking to you, probably better. All right. Okay, I think I actually got that figured out a little bit. I'm checking to make sure I don't get run over walking across the street here. That'd be really great. It's like, who is this guy that he thinks he's holding a camera up on his face and gets run over by a car? But anyway, I think I got everything figured out. What I'm going to do is I'm actually giving the kids an assignment to come up with their own idea. It's going to look something like this. We're talking about motivation and how the love of Christ is what motivates us to live a holy life. And so we're going to give them an assignment. Come up with a character, tell a story about that character in 1 or 2 sentences, and then explain what their motivation is and how that really totally changes the idea. Sort of like this. So imagine that you see a German Shepherd. He jumps into a river to save a boy. You think, oh my goodness, that's really great. That German Shepherd must really love that boy. So you realize that the motivation of the German Shepherd was he's hungry, and the boy looked like he was just a nice snack. You see, motivation changes lots of things. So that's my job. I'm gonna give the kids the assignment of kind of looking at what their motivation is, telling a little story about that. As with most things, some kids will love it. Some kids will think it's fun and they really want to be creative and whatever else they want to be. Some kids will think it's terrible, but that's kind of what we're doing. So I kind of wrapped up that lesson. Now we are officially moving over here to the youth room. And actually, I'm just spinning around because I like to spin around. But we're moving over here to the youth room to talk about Board Game Club. Now, Board Game Club is something I haven't really talked about all that much, which is funny considering how much of my brain power it kind of grabs a hold of. Well, Board Game Club is this. About close to the first of the year, there's an after-school program here at our local middle school, and there was an email sent out about, hey, after-school program, and my kid's a middle schooler, and so asked if we wanted to be involved, and I said, and so from that, I contacted the guy and said, hey, I like to play board games. I'd love to come and start a board game club up for your after-school program. They're doing all kinds of other clubs, and he said, sure. So I had in my head this group of like-minded little geeky guys, maybe 3 or 4, 5 guys. I was hoping that maybe we'd hit 5 people that really wanted to play games, and we could teach a lot of cool new games, and every week we would learn a new game, and then the next week we'd learn some more games, and it'd be really awesome. That was my plan. That was my goal. So maybe get up to 7 people. I was buying like 7 Wonders. And I love board games. You don't know that yet, but I will talk about that a lot more, I'm sure. But I love board games, so I was gonna have this great idea. Well, we get the board game club, and it's not 4 or 5 people. It's not maybe 7 people. It's 15 people. And at 15 people, it's very hard to find one game that fits 15 people. And not only is it 15 people, it's 15 people that only about 5 of them actually want to play games. The rest of them want to do nothing. I don't know exactly what their motivation is. And so it has been an interesting time figuring out exactly how to engage them in games, engage them in playing games. And it's been a headache of mine, to just be really honest with you. My son's there, he helps out, he leads the game. I have a college student who comes that leads some of the games as well, kind of breaks that headache down. But honestly, I'm considering it a good day if nobody cries. And so that's what we're here about tonight. Today, we go do that. And so I'm over at the youth room here. This is where I store my games, or at least the games for this. So I'm gonna go in here and see what I can find. All right, FYI, just between me and you, I complain a whole lot about Board Game Club, and it does create a lot of tension in my life, but I would never give it up. And the reason being is that I get to see students in a way that I don't normally get to see them. And I get to see a bunch of kids that I would never get to see and who may not ever come to my church. But I get to talk to them every week. I get to hear about their lives. I get to give them advice. I get to tell them about the gospel. I don't stop being a pastor just because I walk in the door. And so people ask me questions and I give them advice from the Bible. And I get to know the people, and I get to be involved in the school. And so when I went the other day to the band competition, I knew all these different students because I was there in their lives and they knew me and I was able to talk to them. And so it's just a great way for me to get to know students. And as much as I want to complain about it, I don't think I'll ever give it up. Okay, so I got my board game stuff done. Spent the day like I like to do on most Mondays. Writing lessons. It normally does take me all day to come up with a Wednesday night lesson, which is good. It's kind of a good rule of thumb for me. Spend the day working on that, refining it, editing it. Tomorrow we'll kind of pick back up like we did last Tuesday, where I will make sermon notes from it. I will add the notes and look at it, and that will kind of help me in my editing process. I will make the student sheets that we're going to make, as well as begin to set up ProPresenter and all those kind of things to make the lesson work. But the primary writing of it is done today, and so I'm glad to be finished with that. Now I'm just going to do a few little things. I've got a guy, college kids that'll be here in about 20 minutes or so to go with me to Board Game Club. But other than that, that's my day. I've got to do, what do I have to do? Oh yeah, I've got to start looking at a Super Bowl party, and I got to email the adults about that. And so I'll do that right now while I wait and kind of make sure I use this time and then go have some fun. So anyway, thanks for checking out with me again today. It's a typical Monday, so that's pretty much a work week with me. So I'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow. Maybe not. Who knows? Bye.